Just after midnight, a Pakistani radar operator watched Indian jets climb into the sky. Dozens of them, the exact shape of a real attack. Their speed, their height, their formation, all correct. Every alarm did its job, and almost none of it was real. He wasn't watching India's Air Force, he was watching its ghosts, and by the time anyone understood the trick, the night was already lost. This is the story of how India flew into one of the most heavily defended skies in Asia, and came home by sending in a fake Air Force first. A trick 4 moves deep. To understand how big this trick was, be honest about the wall it had to beat. Because on paper, Pakistan's sky was closed. Chinese HQ-9 launchers, Beijing's answer to the American Patriot, stacked with more systems watching hundreds of kilometers deep, radars built to catch even aircraft made to be invisible. And overhead, fighters carrying a missile so fast and reaching so far that a year later air forces around the world are still taking it apart to understand it. Fly anything big, loud, and real into that, and it gets seen from far away. It gets locked. It gets shot down. India knew this. So the first thing India sent in wasn't a jet at all. It was a ghost. Move 1. The first aircraft across the line were built to die. No pilots inside. Cheap drones, but shaped, on radar, to look exactly like India's real fighter jets. Reports say they even flew like the real thing. The same height, the same speed, the same formation. To every screen watching, India's attack had begun. They were bait. And bait works. Pakistan's crews did what every trained crew on Earth is drilled to do. When fighters cross in, they switch their radars from quiet watching to full power, searching, locking, getting ready to fire, which was the one thing those radars should never have done, because a radar that switches on is a radar shouting its own address into the dark. Move 2. Waiting above them was the trap. Israeli-made drones called Harop, machines that do just one thing. They circle, they listen for a radar signal, and they write it straight back down to its source. Every radar that lit up to kill the ghosts handed one of these drones a map of itself. One by one, they dropped out of the dark onto the very radars trying to find them. And this part is not a claim. Satellite photos, checked by analysts around the world, showed the wreckage the next morning, including one prize worth a small squadron. A Chinese-built radar made specially to catch tricks like this one, sitting destroyed on the ground, and it wasn't alone. Reports say around 30 of these drones went hunting that night. Near Lahore, one found another target, a $70 million Chinese radar, the kind whose only job is to tell the missiles where to fire, and knocked it out where it stood. The fake jets found the radars, the real drones finished them, and Pakistan's air defenses now had holes where their eyes used to be. Move 3. Now, only now, the real jets came. The radars that survived met the next trick, jamming pods, riding with the jets, flooding the Chinese systems with noise. Reports from the operations say the HQ-9S and the systems beside them were blinded through the strike. Screens full of static, locks that wouldn't hold. The result reads like a misprint, but it isn't. 9 targets across Pakistan and the Kashmir it holds. Indian officials put the strike at just over 20 minutes. The most advanced air defense system China has ever sold abroad, failing its first real test against an enemy it could barely see. U-4, my favorite, rode 100 meters behind the real fighters on a wire. A little pod called X-Guard, 30 kilograms, towed behind India's Rafale jets on a thread of fiber-optic cable, and singing out a perfect copy of the jet pulling it. The same radar shape, the same movement, even the tiny shift in its signal when a fighter banks into a turn. To a missile coming in at 5 times the speed of sound, the sky now holds 2 identical jets, a real one built to hide, and a fake one built to shine. The missile does what missiles do. It picks the brighter one. A former American fighter pilot who studied this operation called it the best deception he had ever seen in combat. That 30-kilogram pod was built for exactly one job: when a missile comes hunting a Rafale, be the brighter target and take the shot meant for the jet. But blinding the radars was never the point. It was the key. And in the days that followed, India turned that key. With Pakistan's air defenses full of holes, Indian jets, flying from inside their own airspace, never once crossing the border, reached past the terror camps for something far bigger, the air bases themselves. India says around 11 of them struck with BrahMos missiles that arrive faster than the sound of their own approach. The target hears nothing. The blast lands before the noise does. And this time, there was no arguing it away. Satellite photos, taken from orbit, showed a runway at Rahim Yar Khan, cratered straight through, an airbase that, months later, still could not reopen. At Nur Khan, sitting just minutes from the heart of Pakistan's military command, a building lay torn open. And you don't even have to take India's word for it. Pakistan's own deputy prime minister went on the record and admitted it. The base was hit. Think about what that means. India didn't just answer a terror attack out at the border. It reached into the most guarded ground the other side had, the runways its fighters fly from, the nerve centers that run its air force. And it did that by making sure no one could see it coming. That is what the tricks were for. Step back and look at all 4 tricks at once. Ghost jets that made a fake attack look real. Drones that turned Pakistan's own radar beams into a road home. Jammers that blinded whatever was left. And decoys built to catch the missiles meant for the jets that mattered. 4 moves. And not one of them was about being stronger than the other side. Every single one was about being less real. Harder to see. Harder to trust. Impossible to pin down. And that was the real prize the tricks bought. For one stretch of nights, India could reach wherever it chose. The border, the radars, the air bases deep inside, while the most advanced defenses money can buy were looking the wrong way. That is the quiet lesson of those nights, and it is bigger than one operation. For 70 years, air war was a contest of machines, whose jet flies faster, whose missile reaches further. India showed a different contest. Not who has the better jet, but who tells the better trick, at the speed of light, straight into the enemy's sensors. Pakistan's radars worked that night. Its missiles flew. Its pilots fired. Every machine did exactly what it was built to do. They just did it inside a world that India had already written for them. And that leaves every Air Force watching, in Beijing, in Islamabad, everywhere, with the one question that should keep them up at night. The next time your screen shows you an enemy in the sky, how do you know anyone is really there? This is the Terminal Intelligence Bureau. Like, share, subscribe, and hype this video for more.